Okay, this one's new, and I'd just like to know, just as a matter of interest, how many people in here have seen the movie Dick Tracy?
Bits.
Bits, okay.
Calling all cars.
Eh?
Calling all cars.
Calling all cars.
Oh, everything.
Whatever, I didn't get that at all. Whatever, yeah, whatever. But,
Sorry, Alan.
that's okay, Chris. Okay, but this poem is based in part on that movie. It's not for the faint-hearted, and it's called The Horrible Fate of the Late Lips Manless. Every villain in this town of anarchy and chaos remembers the tale of the horrible fate of the late Lips Manless. Lips Manless was a West Side boy, hairy, squat and ugly, when times were hard and poverty was thriving in the city. The kids all liked to taunt him, and they called him Liver Lips. But Lips said nothing in response, just beat them with his fists. A bullied kid, he always felt the need to prove himself. The bitter memories drove him on to gain enormous wealth. Now, Lips Manless wasn't smart enough to make an honest living. He turned to crime and started off by simple, petty thieving. He soon progressed to stick-up jobs, extortion, theft, and savagery, and kept the lawmen off his back with murder, theft, and bribery. He decimated many foes in vicious gangland warfare, acquiring power and territory to build a criminal empire. He took over a casino, the fashionable Club Ritz, a team of bodyguards on hand to ward off gangland hits. He wooed the Ritz's gorgeous singer, breathless Jane Mahoney, blonde, petite and beautiful, with a voice as sweet as honey. The years rolled on, and Manless soon relaxed into his rule. He ate and drank from dawn till dusk, he partied like a fool. Then one night there was a raid. 3 cops bust through the door to find Lips Manless having dinner, feasting like a boar. The mobster king looked like a child, a bib in his tuxedo. The cops said, "We're arresting you for running this casino. You're coming now with us downtown to face the wrath of justice. We're gonna bring your girl along. We need her as a witness." The pair of them were marched outside where a black sedan was parked, and in the back seat, Flat-Top Jones, a smiling hoodlum, lurked. Lips got a shock to see him there, machine gun pointed at him. It dawned on Lips the cops were fake. His enemies had tricked him. The sedan screeched away without a moment's hesitation. It drove through town, then down a hill towards its destination. A city warehouse on the dock, gloomy and forbidding. The gate rose up, the car pulled in, a group of men were waiting. The atmosphere was ominous as the gang piled out the door. They dragged Lips out and sent him tumbling helpless to the floor. Panicking and sweating, Manless staggered to his knees. He looked up, and standing over him was Big Boy Al Caprice. Now, Big Boy wasn't very tall or even very wide, but he had an air of menace round him. Lips was terrified. Big Boy Caprice was on the rise, a vicious, ruthless criminal. The lawmen couldn't slow him down. His rampage was unstoppable. One look into his bulging eyes told Manless he was toast. For Big Boy had a lust for power Lips had long since lost. Lips grovelled. "Big Boy, ain't we pals?" But Big Boy shook his head. "No pals in this business, Lips," the snarling hood replied. Then Big Boy said, "Let's make a deal. Your club, I really like it. Give me your club, I'll spare your life. Here's the deed. Now, sign it." Lips signed his name, his life imperiled, hanging in the balance. But as he signed, he heard a rumbling tremor in the distance. A truck reversed towards him, slowly coming to a stop. A cement machine fixed on its back, the mix placed on top. As Lips looked on, a switch was flipped. The mixer started rolling. The noise resounded round the warehouse, shuddering and screeching. Then Big Boy turned around to Lips. He looked at him and laughed. He smirked. "You're really dirty, Lips. I think you need a bath." Then Big Boy's men took hold of Lips and dragged him to his fate. They cuffed his hands and set him down inside a wooden crate. And Lips Manless began to weep. His body shook with dread. The mixer tipped and cold cement poured down upon his head. He cried, "Please, Big Boy, not the bath. He wailed and begged for mercy, humiliated in defeat, and screaming like a baby. Big Boy's men smiled down upon him, giving him no sympathy, while Big Boy laughed uproariously, relishing his victory. The mixer stopped, the truck rolled back, the crate's lid slammed down hard, and Breathless watched it all in fear and didn't say a word. Even in the chilly air, the lady looked divine, as Big Boy took her hand and said, "What Manless owned is mine." Inside the crate, the light was gone as Manless faced his doom. There would be no reprieve for him, this crate would be his doom. As the cement began to dry, slowly Lips began to die. He writhed in vain, he thrashed and gurned, his arteries stiffened, his insides burned. The crate was draped in heavy chains, the lid was nailed down tight. The wood and concrete coffin was a truly gruesome sight. Big Boy nodded to his gang, a henchman pulled a lever. The crate fell through a trapdoor, plunging deep into the river. Then Big Boy roared, "With Manless gone, it's me who runs this town. There's no one out there smart or brave enough to take me down." He turned and strolled toward his car. His work tonight was through. He paused to have a henchman wipe cement from off his shoe. The gang drove off into the night with barely a glance backward at the warehouse standing mournfully, a solitary graveyard. So Big Boy ruled the underworld, the city in his grip. But in the end, he met a fate as terrible as Lips. When villains hear this tale, they feel a mix of fear and sadness. They don't want to face the horrible fate of the late Lips Manless. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Boys and girls out in English, give it up for him. Spells out like a Frenchman. He's from Scotland and his name's English. He's very cosmopolitan.